Smile is one of the most scariest horror movies I've seen in a long time. Also, if you haven't seen the trailer, don't watch the trailer. I heard it includes a couple of the jump scares in this movie, and experiencing those jump scares for the first time is what makes this movie. So just do yourself a favor, don't watch the trailer. Okay, so the plot of Smile. It is about a psychiatric doctor. I think that's what she is. Don't quote me on that, please. And a patient comes in who's all riled up. She goes, tries to figure out what's wrong with her. And basically the patient's like, hey, I'm seeing stuff. I'm hallucinating and I don't know what's happening, but it's real. And the doctor's like, no, it's not real. It's all in your head. Well, shortly after, the lady kills herself in front of the doctor, and while doing it, she's smiling. So shortly after that, the doctor starts to see things and hallucinate. She's seeing some kind of figures. She's seeing people smile. Nonetheless, she is seeing exactly kind of what that patient that killed herself in front of her was describing. And I mean, these aren't regular smiles. These aren't cheery, hello, how you doing smiles. These are just straight up creepy ass smiles. So as the movie progresses, she starts seeing things way more. And I mean, they amplify. It is crazy. There's some big jump scares, some crazy ass parts, and the whole atmosphere of this movie is just anxiety ridden. I have high anxiety, so watching this movie, I felt like I was on my toes the whole movie, which is one of the reasons this is one of my favorite all-time horror movies. So as the doctor starts descending into madness, she eventually asks one of her cop friends if she can get some help and figure out who that lady was that killed herself in front of her, because that's when it all started. Well, through some research, they find out that the lady that killed herself in front of the doctor had actually witnessed a suicide prior to that. And the dude that committed suicide in front of that girl witnessed a suicide prior to that. And they're dating this back crazy far, like connecting it with case after case. And basically, it's if you see someone die, a week later or 4 days later, you end up eventually killing yourself in front of somebody, and that person that sees you die ends up committing suicide for the 7 days later in front of somebody, and it's this big cycle. So skip to the end of the movie, because that's basically the movie, and we find out that it's this entity, spoilers going forward, that has probably been around since the beginning of time, and it just feeds off your trauma until you eventually break, and it becomes, well, it enters you, eats you. I have no idea what happened at the end of this movie, but yeah, it eventually enters you, and then it kills itself in front of somebody to feed off of their trauma. Also, I would like to point out that this entity is extremely strong. I mean, basically, when it's in you and breaking you, it is warping reality, because your mind perceives what it perceives as reality, and that's what it's controlling. It's controlling your mind. So, in a sense, it literally can control anything you see, everything you do. It is just a beyond powerful entity. I love it. So my review of Smile is just a insanely creepy movie. I mean, the whole time I'm watching this movie, I'm on edge. There's some crazy ass jump scares in this movie. Also to note, this is in my top 10 horror movies. This is how you make a scary movie. And I can't wait for the sequel. I'm there. I'm already seated. So my rating for Smile is a perfect 10 out of 10. I mean, this movie for me had it all. I don't literally get scared at any movie, and I think just the movie feeds off anxieties, and with my high anxiety, it was perfect. Yeah, it was good. It was real good, and this movie is definitely a movie you need to watch if you haven't seen it. and it's a movie that needs to be in your collection. It is so good, and for it being new, it's easily one of the best new horror movies I've seen in a long time.